Hello and good morning. My name is Joshua Velasquez, and today we're going to be talking about how social contract theory is successfully applied in these three factors: free speech, civility, and tolerance. I did get some information from chapter 17 of the book. So, starting off with social contract. The meaning of social contract is coming to an agreement as a society to form a system, some rules or regulations or a government in order for things to be balanced and controlled, in order to live a good and successful life. So when it comes to free speech, there has been a very great debate in that topic, as to what someone can say, what someone can't say. In my stance, for example, I do believe that social contract theory has to be applied to freedom of speech, civility, and tolerance, because that sets that boundary and therefore prevents any some sort of escalation of conflict between people or groups, or even people to government. For example, you are not able to, even though you're able to express yourself, your feelings, and say what you have to say, there has to be regulations. For example, you're not able to threaten anybody, so that makes it, wrong. And when it comes to expressing your feelings, but in a peaceful and respectful manner, um, um, without having to threaten anybody or actually escalate things into physical violence, and that is right. And I do agree that social contract theory is successfully applied and helps solve a lot of issues when it comes to violence. Um, so, however, there's the other side of the coin. For example, others that believe that you are born with speech, you're born with the voice. Therefore, you shouldn't have any limitations. You should really just express things as you feel it. So that is the other side of the coin. Um, and these two have still come up to a very intense debate, as as time has gone on and events started happening. For example, protests or riots, or any unjust actions from the government. Um, when it comes to that, sometimes it does escalate to violence. So that's why there's also social contract theory applied to tolerance, because that is something that has been taught to us since we were children. And the reason for that is because we don't want a society that is very violent just by what somebody other another person says to you. For example, if you're at work and somebody critiques you, either a patient or a customer or even your own coworker, that does not justify for you to punch them in the face. um, so there has to be some sort of tolerance and teachings for that. So I believe that has also been able to solve a lot of issues with violence and de-escalate the number of fights and violence and killings. And it also comes with civility as well. Civility comes with respect, comes with being honest with each other. We have to be civil, and that has also been taught to us since we were children. We've been taught what is right and what is wrong. So it all starts from the smallest basics. Like, oh, you have to be respectful to your elders, or if you see somebody that needs help, go and help them. Don't just stare at them and expect for the best for them. So you have to be you build all of these factors, thanks to the social contract theory, and I do believe that without it, it will create a lot of problems, not only as a society, but you know everything as a whole in this nation. Um, so it has been very successfully applied and has solved a lot of issues. There's still things that has to be solved and worked on as time goes on and events start happening. But I do believe, as a conclusion, that social contract theory is not about silencing the people. It's not about keeping them, hidden. It's about just, you know, respecting the integrity of not only that person but also everybody else, and it makes society better and more balanced, as a whole. Thank you.